excited to do another website review. We have 3 great websites today that we are going to be taking a look at. So I'm excited to hang out with you here for a bit. Let me just make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, if you're new to Oh My Hi, I come live a couple times a month to take a look at different websites, and I'm taking a look at them from the standpoint of conversion. Does the audience know what you do? Do they know what problem they solve? Do they know, or you solve? Do they know that you are the person that they should be partnering with or buying from? Do they understand what you sell? So I'm looking for consistency in messaging. I'm looking for connection. I'm looking for clarity. All of those sorts of good things. We want to know, do they understand the problem you solve, how you solve the problem, and why you're the one to solve the problem, to make it kind of succinct. If you've been around for a while, or if you are a part of Oh My Hi, then you know that the amazing Lisa Duck goes live every single week to the Oh My Hi community to answer your questions about how to build your website, how to include the functionality of websites or of forms and quizzes and products and all of the amazing benefits of Oh My Hi. She is there to help you build it out and the technical side of all of the things, and she's fantastic. So if you haven't taken advantage of those yet, make sure you're inside the Oh My Hi community and you can get those dates on your calendar, because she is fantastic. If you are here hanging out, make sure you say hello so I know I'm not hanging out here alone. And thank you so much for taking the time to show up here. Like I said, we've got 3 websites to review, and so we can just kind of jump right in. Okay, let's see here. We're going to start here with Marsha Hopper. Marsha, if you're here live, let me know. Hi, Bethany. Hi, Jen. Yay, lots of friends here. Okay, so let's start here. I just ate some spicy chips and my nose is now like running. Anyway, we'll make it through. We will be good too. Okay. Life is complicated enough. Your nails don't have to be. Want my 7-day to better nails text. Send the word nails. Yeah. Okay. This is great. It's super clear what I'm going to get. 7 days to better nails. So that's a problem that you're solving. Oh, good. Marsha is here. Oh, Stephanie. Good to see you here, Stephanie. Glad you can hang out with us. Okay. So it's very clear what it is that they're going to get. 7 days to better nails. That's a problem that you solve. Super clear. Love that. This is great. And then, yep, you've got the right code here for SMS, so perfect. This is, again, super nitpicky, but I might just reinforce text. Well, you have it here. I don't know. You could play with that. It might be weird to have text and text right next to each other. So maybe you could say, like, want my 7 days to better nails guide. Text the word nails. Again, that's stupid nitpicky, but I don't know. Just play with that. Hi, Diana. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, there's lots of you hanging out with us here today. Great. Okay. Love this image of you. You might also want to add another image of nails or something to just reinforce that that's the product that you solve, because up to this point, I have no idea what product you solve. And we want to remember this piece here that we call above the fold is the most important part. That's where we're grabbing people's attention. That's where we're connecting with people, letting them know what we do before they have to scroll. It's how they're making the decision that they're going to continue to go down. So maybe even having another image here of the nail products that you sell. But yeah, this is all fine. And then again here, I've read this already. Love this language because it's really allowing people to connect with you, who you are, how you move through the world, and kind of identify that you are the person that we want to, work with, and that, we have similarities, all the good stuff. However, at this point, I still don't know what you sell and how you're going to solve a problem for me. So when we think about our websites, we want to make sure that at the very beginning, it's all about them. It's about them and what they need what they want, what they're looking for. Further down is how can we help them get there. So like that's why this is so fantastic, because it's a very specific, okay, 7 days, my nails are going to look better. My nails are really bothering me. Like that's a really quick and easy connection. So let's build that through here and make sure we let people know what product we're selling, and reinforcing why it's going to help with better nails. Like what's that connection? I think that would be great. But love that you have a button here that goes to your contact page. Fantastic. And again, this is a beautiful photo. Let's add something else that is there towards your nails. And I know you have a couple products. So the other question that I would have is like, which one is your biggest priority? Which one are you trying to sell the most? Which one is driving the most revenue? So maybe even having 3 photos here. Love the image of you, maybe an image of nails, and then maybe your prayer journal or something about that. And then whatever language here is going to kind of, maybe there's something you can do to connect the two. I'm not sure. We might need to massage that a little bit. Because yeah, this language would be great to have here on this a little bit more about me. Love this. Yep. This is all good. Happy Camper Nails. Okay, so it looks like this goes to information. Does this go to a... Yeah. So I would just say that like this is a great image in general. Be more obvious about what you're selling. Let people know exactly what it is that you're selling. Because the other thing we want to remember is we want, our websites are here to help people select in, opt in, join us, but also for people to opt out, to say, okay, you're not the right person, you're not my cup of tea, or this isn't the product that I'm looking for. And both are great and both are okay, because we don't want to waste a lot of time trying to convince people. We want to find our people. We want to hang out with our people. We want to have fun in what we're doing. And so be a little bit more specific in the products that you're selling, what you're selling, how it kind of fits into how you engage and interact with customers. Maybe you should add the 3 photos and brands up at the top. I don't know that you, yeah, I mean, I would just make sure you've got the product visible here at the top, and then also that they're mentioned here in that intro. Different people you pray for. Okay, yep, this is great and super specific, right? Because a prayer journal can mean multiple things, and I love what you have here in this image too, an alphabetical guide to praying for others. So this is solving a very specific purpose, and I love that. If you're looking for a way to track the people you're praying for, here's my prayer journal. I can get behind that. I understand exactly what it is that you're trying to do. I know what I'm looking for now. If I'm looking for something that gives me different devotionals or things like that, like this isn't for me, but if I'm looking for this to solve a problem, spot on, great. And then this is great too, but I would maybe just add in here are just a few things that I love. I would maybe, and I know you're trying, like this is great that these are all the same length symmetrically. It looks beautiful, looks great. Maybe like when I find something good related to, I don't know, something that's a little bit more specific, so I know that it's going to be things that I'm interested in and things that I'm looking for. Okay, and then yes, hyperlink these just like you did at the very top. So I don't know, is that the same number? Yeah. So maybe SMS, I realized after last one that I keep saying semicolon and it's actually just a colon. SMS colon phone number for text messages, TEL colon for phone numbers for people to call. And then same here, mail to MAILTO colon email address. And then you've got all your stuff linked up here. So I think this is great. The colors are great. The contrast is great. There's a lot of really good meat here. I think you could give us a little bit more as far as some of the different things that you do and how to connect. Because if I'm just scrolling this, I might not make that quite that connection with how and what I should be shopping for. So don't be afraid to be a little bit more direct. Don't be afraid to be a little bit more product forward. Maybe instead of having like a little bit more about me or a favorite things section, you have two different kind of groupings. That one is talking specifically about Clio color. I never know how to say that. Clio color. And then, the next one talking a little bit more specifically about your prayer journal so that you have a little bit more space and bandwidth, especially because you have great landing pages where people are going to learn more. Entice them with a little bit more about how that's going to save them time or make them feel better or whatever it is, language that your ideal audience is going to gravitate towards. But great start. Love it. Nice work. Okay, let's do the next one. Sorry, just checking the chat, making sure I'm not missing something. Why am I missing? Hold on. Here we go. So let's go to In the Kitchen with Bethany. Okay. Request your fall 2025 catalog here. Again, I don't know what catalog that is for. So I know if I read here, Pampered Chef, remember when we're scrolling websites, it's basically like we want to think about like an F, right? So we kind of go make an F with our eyes. So I'm going to see your announcement bar first, which is why it's great real estate for things that we want to highlight. So let's not, and I know you say Pampered Chef here, but remember you can't say things too many times. It's like 21 times we have to see something before we're ready to make a buying decision. So we're not sick of saying the same thing over and over again. People aren't really hearing it yet. So request your fall 2025 Pampered Chef catalog, right? Make it very specific with who you serve. About contact, Pampered Chef Live. Yeah, that's all fine. All great. Okay, love that you talk about being a kitchen tool junkie. Talk about helping busy families, flexible income opportunities. Yeah. Great. You talk about different bullets there for sure. Love the images that you have. Obviously, you're showing tools, you're showing cooking. Contact me. Great. Okay, love this personal story here. And you're talking about a tool, which you've already talked about up above. So again, reinforcing that same thing of, okay, I'm here, I'm your tool girl, I'm the one, if you're looking for, because you can go so many different ways with Pampered Chef, right? Maybe you're, whatever it might be. So, you're talking about tools and you're reinforcing that in several places. So that's great. Passionate about sharing tools and tips. Yep, I'm here to help you cook smarter, not harder. Great. So this is just a great example of understanding the value proposition that you provide. Because again, like I'm in marketing. We build websites. We help with content creation and email marketing, right? There's a million people that do what I do. So it's not about trying to be the same as everyone or comparing myself to everyone. It's about me being me and how I interact and engage. And so I love that Bethany here has chosen to double down on tools, cook smarter, not harder. She's not trying to talk about every single thing that Pampered Chef offers because that would be overwhelming. She's being specific. And don't be scared to lean into those types of things. So, yep. And then reinforcing with the brand here. And again, it's here. It's here. View the current catalog. Here I'm fine with it not saying Pampered Chef because you've got it here. But at the top, I would definitely do them. These are my tried and true favorites. Okay. love the photos because they're really easy to figure out what you're talking about here. And I do love that, again, you're reinforcing the tool piece versus like the recipes and whatnot. So that's awesome. These titles are great. This language sounds a little bit more corporate. Again, not a big deal. They definitely explain what this is, but adding your own flair to it might make it a little bit more personable, but overall, totally fine. Don't miss a thing. I would add first name so that you can personalize your emails. And then again, we always want to be super specific here. Yes, join my email list, but what am I going to get if I join your email list? Am I going to get a tool of the week, or am I going to get tips on different ways to use tools than what you thought about? Like, what is it that I'm going to get in those emails? How am I going to get that value add? Be specific in kind of the type of content that you include in your emails. But yeah, add a first name. I might play with this font color contrast wise. That one might be a little bit off. I think the rest of these are fine, especially because you have this in black and bold. But this one might be a little bit hard to read, so you might want to change that color. But this is all great. And then you've got all your stuff hyperlinked. Yeah. Looks good. I think just keep reinforcing the brand, keep reinforcing the tools. Lots of good stuff here. The only thing, and I haven't clicked through all of your pages, but like Pampered Chef Live, you didn't mention that anywhere else on the homepage, and the digital download shop, none of those were mentioned. So if those are things that are important to you and your business, I would make sure that you add those into the homepage, so as people are scrolling, maybe they saw it at the top, but as they're getting to know you a little bit more, they're like, oh, okay, this is cool, I want to know more. If there was like a Pampered Chef Live little synopsis, I might click on that. Or if there was digital downloads, I might click on that where I wouldn't have, and I might not go back up to the top. So if it's important enough to put in the header, maybe think about adding some of that information as well somewhere else on your homepage. Great job. Okay, we have the last one to do. Here we go. Seaview Baptist Church. Number one, love the logo. So easy to see what it is. This is great. This is a great image. Again, visually, I know this is a church. So wonderful there. And I know that I'm not a huge fan of drop downs when we can avoid it. However, I know that churches are doing so many different things that it's hard to not. But just try to think about making sure that these don't get too crazy, and that if you do have drop downs, they are with intention and with purpose, that they serve a specific need. And then this is great. Love that you have this be a button. You'll see this a lot in nonprofits and churches. You can do this in any business as well. If there is something that is the most important thing, really calling it out, which is typically donation, support our ministry, yada, yada, yada. So that is fantastic that you did that. Welcome to Seaview. Okay. And this is a great kind of welcome, kind of setting the stage for who might be the right fit for the church. We believe in creating a space where, yep. So great. And then you're giving them a call to action to kind of come, which makes sense. So that looks great. Okay, calling out the live streams. Okay, this is really important, and I think really interesting, because what can be really difficult a lot of times, especially in nonprofits, so like I work mostly with nonprofit organizations, but the understanding of like how to attract new people and also make sure that you're serving and providing value for your existing people. So this is for every business, right? This is great because in this blue box, it's basically the same thing. They're inviting people to watch the replay and the live streams, right? But they're targeting it to specific audiences. So we invite you to preview us on Facebook. I would write out Facebook here, especially because you have the space, so that people know specifically what you're talking about. So, I mean, for example, we all think our language is normal. It's what we're used to. But I was on a call the other day, and we were talking with an intern about helping me with some projects, and our ops person was like, "Okay, do you have bandwidth?" And she's like, "No, I don't have bandwidth. What kind of app is that?" Like in her mind, she was thinking it was a software. Whereas we were like, no, bandwidth, like, do you have space, time, whatever. So we always assume that people kind of know what we're talking about. So we want to be crystal clear in our language. So I would just make sure this is Facebook, even though the logo's here and it's in the text. Again, people are scrolling, so we want to keep it super, super obvious what we're trying to do. But I love that you have both of these here for people and called out, because this is very important if you want people to live stream, yada, yada, yada. Super nitpicky thing. It does drive me a little bit bonkers that this is italics and this is not. But again, not that big of a deal, but just something that hits me in my brain. Okay, this is great. This could also be an opportunity to encourage people to give you a donation. I assume that your renovations are not cheap. So we're renovating, excuse our dust, whatever, love the pictures. You might want to put a couple bullets of here's some of the improvements that we're making. And if you want to help support our renovations in our church, you can give here. I think this is a great opportunity to add that call to action here and get people excited about what's to come, where you're going, and what types of things they can expect. Also, if they are feeling kind of frustrated by the construction and the renovations, it's also a good way just to reinforce kind of that positivity, that momentum, and where you're headed. Yeah. Okay. Love this section. These photos are amazing. Again, another opportunity to kind of connect people to the ministry and the work that you're doing. So instead of just having a photo, could you put a link or a button underneath it that's like, I don't know, I'm just going to assume this is choir, and maybe you link it to, oh, I don't know. Okay. Well, I don't know enough about all the different things that are happening, but let's just say, okay, so baptisms, maybe you link this to your baptisms page or whatever it might be, but linking these images to different things that are happening at your church where people can learn more. I would do that, because if I emotionally connect to an image or I want to learn more, we want to grab them when they're ready, when they're in the moment, when they're excited, learn more, and move on. And they might not all have somewhere to go necessarily, but kind of think about how you might organize that. Notes from our members. Okay. This is great. Love the visual. I'm going to assume this is a video that maybe you put together in Canva. And it's great. However, if I am using an e-reader, or if I'm visually impaired, I won't be able to know what these are, because it's just going to say video or whatever it is that you put in for the alt text. So you're kind of missing an opportunity for people. Or if I have different settings on my computer where I don't want to show video or photos. So just be cognizant of that you might want to have a slider or something else. Also, from a testimonial standpoint, like e-reader or search engines can't read the text that's in a video like this. So I do think it's beautiful. I do think the way you have it set up works, but you might be missing out on some opportunities for everybody to be able to access that content. Meet the pastor. This totally makes sense. You may or may not, depending on capacity, add a button to contact him or somebody at the church. Love that you have an FAQ. FAQs are the most underutilized, and they're so great because, again, for search engine optimization, they're a great opportunity for you to get more content out there. And also for people to, like stuff like this, like what should I wear, right? Things that your front desk might be getting called about, or you might be getting a lot of emails about. So if you're a solo person, right, if it's just you and you're selling a product, think about the emails that you get most often. what are the questions that you're getting commonly? That's a great FAQ. Your company might offer FAQs. You can kind of rewrite them in your own language and put them on there. But then again, what are the questions you get most commonly when you tell people what you do? And how can you kind of calm those objections? This is a great way to do that. Send us a message. Okay. And then again, hyperlink these. Yeah. Overall, I think it's really great. I think just some opportunities to add some more calls to action so that people can engage and connect. Super clean, really easy for people to understand. The order with which you have things makes a ton of sense to me. So yeah, just be really thoughtful about these drop downs, but I think this looks fantastic. Okay, let me just pop over to chat. I think when you say have them add their first name in the join. Oh, I am not intimately connected to the actual tech side of how to set up your forms. But Lisa would know. I'm sure if you put that comment in the Oh My High users community, you'd probably get a lot of support from a lot of people that have done it. I have not been in their email platform, so I don't really know how you add, but I assume that in that form, there's just a field that you can add, and it should be pretty quick and easy. I just can't, I don't know. So maybe tag Lisa Duck and ask her that question. She can probably get back to you pretty quickly. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this live site review. Super fun. We'll be back twice again in September. So keep your eyes peeled to the official Oh My High page, as well as the Modern Direct Seller YouTube, as well as Oh My High users community group. Hope to see you in a live Q&A sometime soon so you can keep your website moving forward and rocking and rolling. Again, my name is Sammy, and thank you so much for being here today. If you're watching the replay, make sure you just leave your questions for me. I'm always here to answer them, and I appreciate you so much.